Hey guys, so we need to talk about Kamen Rider Zero One. So if you've been keeping up with Kamen Rider recently, you will have known that Zero One ended, um, 2 days ago. Well, in Japan it did. Okay, I watched it live as it was airing, without subs. I couldn't understand the thing they were saying, but I still got the basic concept and how dumb it was. Yeah, we need to talk about it. Sorry for the quick interruption, but we have an announcement. If we can get to 100 subscribers, you guys get to pick what I review. Yeah, so that'll be cool. Tell your friends, tell your family to subscribe so that we can get to 100. So you guys get to pick what I review. It has to be a Tokusatsu show. Be Kamen Rider, Sentai, Ultraman, Garo, whatever. It can even be American. It can be that really bad Beetleborg show. Whatever you want. As long as it's available online and I can understand it. It has to be subbed or in English. Yeah, okay, so back to the video. You guys probably are tired of hearing future me's voice. So now back to your regularly scheduled video. So, one of the things that stood out to me the most is the fact that it was very similar to episode 16 of Zero One. How it was basically the first half was them just continuing what episode 15 ended with. It was just them continuing that battle. And then the rest of the episode sets up the second arc, leading into episode 17 with the introduction of Thouser and the workplace competition. But this episode was the same, but the problem is there's no other arc, there's no next arc to lead up to. So all that's left to lead up to is the movie. But it's kind of hard to spend 10 minutes of an episode leading up to a 1 hour movie. So what they did was they did that. They had probably a 3 to 5 minute epilogue, and then they had a 2 minute teaser for the movie, introducing Kamen Rider Eden, I think it was, and Esu. And also, Azu is now some kind of weird witch creature thing. It's weird. But, I mean, I had so many problems with this episode, mainly due to the fact that it was rushed. I'm not blaming Toei for this. I'm blaming the Japanese government because they couldn't film for a month. So at least 4 episodes were just unable to be aired. Or unable to be filmed, I should say. And it wasn't their fault that it was rushed this time. Normally it's Toei's fault that a show is rushed and bad. But this time it wasn't Toei's fault. It was the government of Japan's fault that it was rushed. And it wasn't even their fault that much because they were forced to do that. They were kind of forced to be like, you know what, you can't film. So it was really, it was really the coronavirus's fault. Oh wait, I can't say that on YouTube. Yeah. it, Yeah, this episode was just bad. Only like the first 5 minutes was continuing after episode 44. It was just Aruto and Hirobi having a battle, and then like 2 minutes in, he's like, "Ha, psych! While I was planning, I actually met with my dad, who's alive now, and he gave me the Zero One driver that he has for some stupid reason, and a recolored, oh god, this is the part I hate the most about this. Not the fact that it was rushed. Not the fact that they teased a movie that's coming out 4 months after the show ends at the end. Not because the episode was only like 10 to 15 minutes long. No. This is the part I hated the most. Aruto's dad comes out of nowhere to give Aruto the Zero One driver. Okay, that doesn't bother me that much, except for the fact, where did Aruto's dad come from? That doesn't get explained. And then what does he give him along with that? a recolored Rising Hopper Progress Key that apparently gives him a different form. But it's not a different form. It's the same exact suit. Yet they call it something different and uses a different Progress Key. It's literally just a recolor. They put a toy exclusive gimmick in the finale of a show. That is not how you do a finale to a show. That is not how you do a finale to a show. It's just not. I couldn't believe how bad this episode was, because it was the finale of Kamen Rider Zero One, one of the best Kamen Rider series I've ever seen. I mean, granted, I have only seen Zero One, Den-O, and O's, which are all amazing. But still, it was an amazing show, and I couldn't believe how bad this finale was compared to how good every single episode. I love the workplace competition, even though everybody else hated it. I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was a great idea to incorporate that, because Heated Intelligence is the one hope for Humagears at this point. If Heated Intelligence wasn't around, they wouldn't have Zero One, meaning Metsubo Jinrai would have turned all the Humagears against the humans, meaning Humagears would have been evil, and Metsubo Jinrai would have killed all the humans, because Humagears can turn evil and have more powers than humans do. But this finale, I don't see how anybody would enjoy. I mean, I could see how somebody could enjoy this if they're just coming for the action. The action in this is really good, and the suspense. The suspense for the movie is really good, but the one problem I have with them teasing the movie at the end is the movie's coming out 4 months after this episode came out. One, I don't know if kids are actually going to remember Zero One. They're going to see this movie and be like, who the heck is that? Especially kids who this show is aiming for, like 4 and 5-year-olds. They aren't going to remember a guy who showed up 4 months ago. They're going to see a trailer for this. They're going to be like, what's this? I don't want to see that. I want to see Kamen Rider Saber. That's why they have the movie war team-ups come out about 4 months after the last show ends. They have a movie focusing on the main team teaming up with the last team, and then the kids are going to want to see it for the current team, but then they also see it for the last team, and they'll be like, oh yeah, this guy, he was cool. And then they remember him, and then they show up in more team-ups without like cameos from the actual actors, but with the suits, and they're like, oh yeah, this guy, I remember seeing him like 10 years ago in that show, and then that team-up that he teamed up with the last guy. Also, I don't think they're doing a movie war movie, which I am upset about, because I really wanted to see Zero One crossover with Saber to see how that would work out, because Zero One's more futuristic with robots and just that, and Saber, from what we've seen, is this like kind of not prehistoric, but like medieval kind of series, kind of like Ryusoulger did. So I'd like to see how those would play together. How those two themes would like match with each other and what they would do with that. So I was kind of disappointed when they announced it's coming out in December, because that's normally when the movie war movie comes out. And it also means probably a lot of children are going to start forgetting about Zero One, because he's not going to be in the new movie war movie. That's my guess. That's my guess of what they're for. What the movie war movies are for. That's just my guess. I that hasn't been revealed what they're actually for. This is just my opinion and my guess. So this finale was just it was just bad. And then Hirobi just having a change of heart at the end is just the most cliche thing you can see on a TV show. And I hate that they used that. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be good now because he gave me a second chance to live. No, this is not how you make a finale. And I am really disappointed in Toei, and mainly Yuwa Takahashi. He wrote almost every episode for Zero One, and it was amazing. And then he comes out with this finale. It's not really even Toei's fault. It's mainly the writer's fault for thinking this was a good idea. I mean, granted, it was probably Toei who forced him to make this a shorter one, so that they could tease the movie at the end. And he probably wanted an epilogue in there so that if there were any crossovers that would happen, everything would be tied up. Like, Guy got the Thousand Driver back. Yaiba is the new captain of Ames. Aruto is Izu was rebuilt and is starting from scratch. So all the loose ends have been rebuilt, and I think he actually wanted that in there, in case they actually did do a crossover with Saber. Because you never know, they could do it when Saber's close to ending. You never know. So it's. And they probably wanted it shorter too, so they could advertise Saber more, because Saber's coming up next week, or this week actually. Saber's coming out this. Well, at that point, it would have been like the week, exactly the week after that came out, because yeah, it. So I can see why they wanted to make it shorter, but they still could have done more with it. They still could have done more than, oh, we're fighting. Oh, hey, look, I got a new suit. That's the same exact thing, but we call it something different. Oh, wow, I'm going to give you a second chance to be good. Oh, I'm going to be good now. Short epilogue. Teaser for the movie. End of episode. That was not a satisfying conclusion at all. I see this as the decade of the Reiwa era. This is literally the decade of the Reiwa era. Sure, all the loose ends are tied up, but it still gives a cliffhanger that isn't resolved. And people are just going to forget about it. At least Decade, they gave a trailer for the movie actually showing clips from the movie. But they didn't even show clips from the movie. They made clips especially for that trailer for the movie. They didn't even show those clips in the movie because people wanted to give people a satisfying conclusion for Decade. So they were like, no, we need to make a crossover movie with the new season so that these people can get a satisfying conclusion. And that's how the movie war movies were made. Sure, they give a trailer for the 01 movie. They don't even show any footage. They just say, yeah, this is happening in December. Go see it. That doesn't make me want to see it anymore. That doesn't make me want to see it any more than I want to see the Kamen Rider Saber episode 50. If they've... releasing that trailer with no footage and just a still image of 01 and Eden, that doesn't make me want to see the 01 movie any more than I want to see Kamen Rider Saber episode 30. Because they've released about as much information about Kamen Rider Saber episode 30 as they've released for the 01 movie. When it's supposed to be the epic conclusion for 01, which literally ended 2 days ago. I think I've ranted enough about 01's finale, but just it was not good at all. It was just not a good episode in the slightest. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Sorry, that was a notification. Sorry for wasting 13 minutes of your time ranting about this, but I felt like it had to be talked about because I haven't seen anybody talk about this yet. So, if you're new, subscribe. Link in the description. Also, this is like episode 0 of a new series. Yeah. So, I'll explain more about it in probably an upcoming video. Well, I mean, I will, because the episode 1 I recorded before this because I forgot to record this. I'm in a bad mood right now, so sorry, I don't really want to do my outro right now. So, yeah, that happened. But yeah, subscribe if you're new and you enjoyed this video. I'll be doing one for Kamen Rider Saber when Kamen Rider Saber's finale hits in a year. But I will be doing weekly reviews of Kamen Rider Saber along with daily podcast videos of like reviews of episodes. We're going to be starting with Kamen Rider Kabuto, and yeah, that'll be pretty cool. So yeah, I will see you guys on next Monday for a new video. Yeah, see ya.